So I'm sure that you probably have seen it, and if you're following Gamergate or are a member of Kotaku in action, you definitely saw it. But Tyler Wilde wrote an opinion piece about the use of the term PC Master Race. And I'll go through the article piece by piece, but the overview is this. Wilde is now calling for the abolishment of PC Master Race as an identity for PC gamers. Now, I don't consider myself a part of the PC Master Race, and if anything, I'm more of a console peasant anyway, but this kind of pisses me off. Why can't we just let these people call themselves what they want? And why did Tyler Wilde have to go full SJW? So he starts out by explaining that on the internet, even when jokes get old and lame, we keep them around anyway. Which is definitely true. I mean, just look at Nyancat or Trollolol or fucking anything. Like, literally anything that was funny on the internet. He goes on to state that keeping these things around is embarrassing and detrimental. Well, who is it detrimental to? I mean, obviously to Wilde, because he wrote a whole article about it, but hopefully he'll explain that later. Wilde gives a backstory on the term, citing its creation over 7 years ago. Then he goes on to cry about people using the term without having any conscious thought about what they're saying. He goes on to say that the way people latch onto the identity is, quote, getting uncomfortable. And bingo, here it is. It's offensive. Of course it's offensive. It always has to be offensive. It can't just be a little joke that pokes fun at you, or pokes fun at people who actually believe that real gamers only play on PC. It has to be offensive. Something that I find really funny about this next bit is that he points out that as a part of the sidebar on PC Master Race, they state that they're not a hate group, and that they're not tolerant of discrimination. So how the fuck is it offensive? For Christ's sakes, they even go on to say that all people are welcome. Direct quote, age, nationality, race, gender, sexuality, and religion are all irrelevant here. All are welcome in the PC Master Race. How could that be misconstrued? How? Although, SJWs are known for their gold medals in mental gymnastics, so I guess I shouldn't really be surprised. Wilde goes on to say that he realizes that no one is actually saying that PC gamers are preferred people of Hitler. Which is good, because literally no one is saying that. If you're saying that, you're fucking retarded. He says he's recognized that it's a lampooning of the stereotype of PC gamers as elitist douchebags. But I don't really believe him. If he felt like it was actually just a joke, then he would treat it like a joke. But that really begs the question. Why is he not treating it like a joke? He says it's not a joke worth keeping, especially because it makes people uncomfortable. And here we go. Finally, he shows someone actually being uncomfortable. The terror, the outrage of one person. Well, two people actually, because clearly it made Wilde uncomfortable enough to write about it. He says he'd be mortified if his friends and family thought that he was part of the PC Master Race, which goes to show that they're as humorless as he is, and would make one believe that this apple fell extremely close to the tree. Quote, a half-forgotten 7-year-old internet joke doesn't expunge the historical meaning from the phrase. But yes, it does, Tyler. Wilde states that this isn't, quote, a plea for political correctness. But that disassociating with Nazis is just good living. Which again, clearly the folks at r/PC Master Race agree with. But how is this not a plea for political correctness? Political correctness is the avoidance of forms of expression or action that are perceived to insult groups of people. He says he really likes the primer for the subreddit, but says that inclusivity is undermined by a cultish attitude which addresses everyone collectively as brother. Yes, Tyler, that's what a joke is. I know that's so hard for you to understand, which is why it's really unsurprising that you think that these people on Reddit are trying to shun or exclude anyone. As far as I can tell, and as far as they show on their actual subreddit, they're about openness and freedom. Wilde ends it all with making a call to action, that we need to not remind everyone of white supremacists when we're making fun of the pitiful Xbox One Uden. Give me a fucking break, man. If you think that people who identify as part of the PC Master Race think of themselves as anything but people who enjoy playing PC games and making fun of people who take PC gaming way too seriously, then you might be going at least half Macintosh.